Hi, welcome back to my decorating series. This week, we're going back to Dazzle Beach and continuing with some final touches. Before I started, I was wondering what exactly I was going to get done this week. I had lofty expectations, well, maybe not expectations, but ideas that I might be able to finish all of the finishing touches of Dazzle Beach this week, but I was prepared just in case I got overwhelmed, burnt out, felt like I was taking too long, had time constraints from real life, that sort of thing. So going into this section, this kind of finishing touches section, I was mentally more prepared for when I needed to end, as opposed to kind of starting that, I was trying to fight the overwhelm that I have been experiencing when I start to hit the wall of either overthinking, overwhelm, where I just can't seem to get anything done, or I'm not sure what to do next. I was trying to safeguard my mental health ahead of that to just say, when you start to feel like it's been going on and you're wearing down, just stop. It's okay. It's okay to just stop. And so I think that really helped my attitude, across the board working on this. And so, spoiler alert, I actually don't do all of the finishing touches for all of Dazzle Beach. The difference in size for the different areas from what I was used to doing in the interiors of the house build that I worked on before, it's just, they're so much larger. There's so much more room. There's so much more little nooks and crannies. The shapes are so different. Each biome has a completely different layout. There's different obstacles. There's different, there's a staircase here. There's the beach line here. There's this little nooks around, the entryways and just the mining nodes. There's a lot to account for. And although I expected to get to points where I didn't know what to do next and that I might get stuck, I wasn't actually doing it is not the same thing as thinking about how it might turn out. So I'm glad that I set myself up from the beginning with, if you only get half of it done, that's fine. It'll be okay. And it's still a relatively large area. The market is a large area. So we focus entirely on the market space this week and just trying to tweak things. Oh, Maui's house was giving me the business because I wanted to be able to get to it so I could go inside it. But also there was a fishing spot right there that I haven't been able to fish since I put his house there because it won't let me. So I moved his house just a little bit, and I believe I can still get in his house and fish that spot. So fingers crossed it continues to be okay over time, because I know the fishing spots kind of shift a little bit, but I'm hoping maybe they won't spawn in a weird way now that it's there. I don't know. We'll find out. And if I have to move Maui, I have to move Maui. So the trees and rocks and stuff were fairly limited for what looked good on Dazzle Beach, in my opinion. If I had gone a completely different route than the route that I had gone, I'm sure there might have been some other things, but we only have so many palm trees. There's only a couple of little clusters and some rocks. I liked the idea of having some of the mossy rocks in there, but when I put them down, they didn't feel right to me. So I abandoned those fairly quickly, and it kind of bothered me having some of the plant stuff grow in the sand because it didn't look I don't know. I think I was just overthinking it, but I did want to fill up all of these kind of big empty spaces in between the market, pathing and stuff like that. I wanted to detract a little bit from how bold that pathing is, and I actually still think I might want to go back in at some point and maybe even remove a few more of it. It's so I don't know. There's something about it that feels almost overpowering. It's such a bright color. It's very, I don't know. It just feels like a lot. I kind of wish it was a little bit more scattered looking, but I think that's just, again, me overthinking things. So I'm glad I removed some of it. I'm glad I kind of tweaked it a little bit, and I'll tweak it a little bit more as we go on. But I still think that I might want to. Oh, I was trying really hard to fill in some of these gaps with the rocks, but these rocks are so much taller. So I like how it looks from an aerial view for those, but I did not like them. When I got down on the ground, I was like, no, they look too bumpy. I would not want to walk on those rocks. So I ended up using the dark wood fence to go around the Mulan tea stall, tea table area, just because I kind of wanted to give it maybe a similarity to the Tiana stall that was up in the market for the Peaceful Meadow, and make it feel like it's a little respite in the marketplace, because I don't have as much seating down here as I did up above. Actually, yeah, I did, because I had like a picnic area and some benches and stuff. But I did want to, make it feel almost like it's another little outdoor cafe restaurant feel, similar to what I have going on with Tiana, but make it its own flavor, of course, because it's Mulan's and not Tiana's. So now I'm doing some finishing touches, and I really love these Moonglow banners. I think I went a little overboard with them, but I kind of don't care because they're so pretty. And I wanted to give the marketplace kind of a different... I thought about using the coconut banners like I did for the canoe area, the surfing area, but yeah, I wanted to give it its own vibe over there. So you'll notice right now I am making all of these torches. I actually want to use these in the surfing area, and I was originally thinking about putting them over in the marketplace, and then I was like, I kind of want to do some different lighting. I kind of want to make sure that like each area still feels a little bit more distinct. So I went ahead and crafted them, but I also was still thinking, oh, you still might make time to get over to the surfing area, the more beachy area. And so I wanted to go ahead and make them. And then as the build went on, as I started to wear down, as I started to feel like, okay, I'm reaching my limit, I was like, you know what, at least I'll be ready for next time, because, it's not like I'm not going to do that part. It's just I didn't make it to it this week. So I'm tweaking the pathing, the two different beach or tropical rock, tree, shrubbery clusters that we have. One of them has a sandy bottom, and so I didn't want it to look like it was too much over the path. Like, I liked the curves of it, but I did kind of try and tweak the pathing to go around as opposed to just go underneath that particular cluster. And I eventually do break down and say, okay, you know what? I don't want just rocks and trees. I want something else. And they do have Dazzle Beach, like shrubs and bushes. So I do throw a couple of those down, but I didn't want to overdo it because, like I said, it was bugging me, the thought of like plants and shrubs growing out of sand. But maybe it's because I'm not as familiar with beach foliage that maybe it was bugging me more than it should. Overthinking? Who, me? But anyway, now I'm throwing down some torches. I didn't want to have them crazy lit down here, and I actually think I got a decent balance of the torches in here because there's still stall lighting and other touches of light. The Moonglow banner things also have some light to them, so I didn't want to throw down too many torches, but I did want to give a few here and there so it's not completely dark. And when I get down and walk around, this is one of those moments where I'm like, I really wish I had first person because I make it so kind of dense. I mean, I love it, but it also, there's a lot of trees and shrubs going on in this particular section. So, I decided that the well, because where you land is facing this little empty section right here, felt like it needed something, and I didn't want it to be a path, so I decided to go ahead and throw some of these rocks down. And then, of course, I take ages fussing with them because they never seem to want to line up in a satisfying way. And so I take way too long dealing with that, but that's all right. So yeah, now I'm just looking for last little places to throw some rocks down, bushes down, anything that might fill some of these weird little empty moments, and making sure that I'm being thorough. All right, well, let's go over there and check it out. So I was really hoping that I would get to finish the entirety of Dazzle Beach, but I'm glad that I mentally prepared myself for the potential of not finishing it all this week. And because I did that, I didn't feel as stressed when messing around on this half was taking as long as it did. I really am not confident and comfortable yet with nature, like adding all the nature elements. Is it too much? Is it too little? Is the lighting right? You know, and I'm hoping, you know, this is only the third biome, you know, like I'm hoping that my brain will start to just chill out as I go on. There's a real possibility that it will never fully be comfortable, and that's okay. But once again, even though I think that I almost think there's too many trees, I really love how it looks, but I wish we could be in first person mode, because it's a little tricky to see through here. But I really love like how lush it feels. Like, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit much, but either way, I'm really pleased with it. I don't know, maybe it is too much. Anyway, I like Moana's house being tucked in. I like the fact that it looks like she can just pop right out of her house and get into the fish stand. I love the little fishing dock here. I'm glad I found a way to incorporate this little wooden cutout thing that we get from Olaf's Emporium with for a fishing sign. I really like that is how I use that. I'm not sure how I'm going to use all of the elements that we can get from Olaf's, but I am hoping to find little ways to incorporate those things that aren't just, I don't know, like a stage. You know, I feel like I'd like to get creative with it. So we'll see what comes of that. But at least we've got one that I used in an interesting way. But I think my favorite thing about this particular section is how it looks at night. I know it's part of it's because I was working on it in the evening, so this is how I first got to see everything. But it really shows you where the lights are out here. And, you know, the torches, I think, look really cute. The moon, oh, those moontide banner things. Oh, my gosh. I think they're moon glow. Anyway, they're super cute. The little lights on the stalls are super cute. You know, the fire from this guardian statue, I think, just really makes this space special. I liked that I incorporated the tangled lanterns above the little tea table over there. I do wish those stone lantern pillar things that are around Mulan's area lit up more. I could swear when I put them down they look like they lit up more, but either way, I still think they look cute there. And yeah, I'm pleased that I set myself up to be patient with myself so that I could really take the time that I needed for me personally to make it through the half of the build I needed to make it through this week. And next week we'll finish doing finishing touches on the other half. That's it for today's decorating adventure. If you liked this video, a thumbs up is a great way to let me know, and a subscription will keep you up to date on my latest shenanigans. If you want to hang out with me live, I stream on YouTube and Twitch on Thursday evenings and middays on Sunday. I hope you have a lovely day, night, time, wherever you are, whenever you are. And I'll see you next time.